So something I get asked about a lot is how do we dose Robbie when he needs insulin? And we use this. It is the Omnipod phone. So this is basically a deactivated phone. The only program that works on it is the one for his pump. Unlock it here. It even says managed by the organization. So we can't, can't do anything with it. If someone were to pick it up, there's a message on the phone that says this is somebody's insulin pump, call these numbers. So he needs a pod changed today, obviously. This tells me how many units are left in his pod, when it expires, everything like that. If it gets to 10 or below units, it goes off and lets me know. We typically end up with like anywhere from 15 to 20 units left in it each time because there is a minimum amount you have to put in. So let's say I'm going to dose him, which he needs to have breakfast, okay? So right now there's his blood sugar, everything like that. If I'm going to dose him, I tap this little purple vial, and I know that he's going to have some mini muffins and a banana for breakfast, which ends up being about 51 carbs. So I type that in. So this is the bolus that his body, or that the pump reads between, this is the bolus that his pump reads for his meal. I'm going to correct what I was saying there in just a second. So then I hit use sensor because this runs as a closed system. So the pump and the sensor communicate with each other. So now the pump is talking to the sensor, and the sensor says, hey dude, he's running on the low side, he might come down. So let's cut it back just a little bit and give him this much instead so he doesn't go into a low. So then I go, boop, confirm. Double check everything looks right. Okay. And then I tell it, start. And it has started to dose him his insulin. At this point, I can go put this phone wherever I want because it has already told the pump what to do. The pump's going to do its job. That is how much of the insulin has been put into his body at this point. And then typically what you want to do, it depends on, I'm sorry, this is so shaky, depends on the individual. We have been recommended to wait 10 to 15 minutes before he eats. Now, a lot of times we find if we wait that long, when he is below 100, he does drop really quick. So we a lot of times will just let him eat within a few minutes of dosing him. And then that allows the insulin to get into his system before the carbohydrates do, which will allow it to stay more balanced instead of spiking super high and then coming down fast. And then this tells me how much insulin is in his body because he does get microdoses of insulin all day long. That's how we keep his, as they described it to us, his cell doors unlocked so that he can receive glucose at all times to use for energy. So there's a little bit on using our Omnipod PDM to dose little man with his insulin.